After the Great War between humans and beasts, both sides agreed to let the half-beasts govern the world. Every 100 years, a union between humans and beasts would be arranged. The first half-beast child of the generation would be the next ruler of the human-beast alliance. In my past life, I chose to marry the eldest son of the wolf clan, renowned for his unwavering devotion. I was the first to bear him a child, a rare half-beast white wolf. Our son was named the next ruler of the human-beast alliance, and my husband, by extension, rose to immense power. My younger sister, who had chosen to marry into the fox clan out of vain admiration for their beauty, was not so fortunate. The fox clan's heir, a notorious philanderer, eventually contracted a disease and lost his ability to father children. Jealous and resentful, my sister set a fire that burned both me and my young white wolf son alive. When I opened my eyes again, it was the very day of the human-beast mating ceremony. This time, my sister was quicker. She climbed into the wolf clan heir Jacob's bed before I had the chance. I knew then, she had been reborn too, but what she didn't know was that Jacob's nature was cruel and violent. He worshipped bloodshed, not love, and he was anything but a worthy mate. Clarice, Jacob, and I truly love each other. Can't you just let us be together? We've already shared a bed. If I don't marry him, how could I ever marry anyone else? In a daze, I heard my younger sister Bella crying out. Father stood nearby, speaking up in her defense. Clarice, maybe you could choose another fiancé instead. Bella just made a mistake in a moment of poor judgment. He had always been biased toward Bella. After all, she was the legitimate daughter of his official wife, while I was merely the illegitimate child from one of his affairs. I looked at Bella, who was kneeling on the ground. Though her face was streaked with tears and full of pitiful sorrow, the ambition and excitement in her eyes were unmistakable. I knew then, she had been reborn too, and this time, she had made it to Jacob's bed before I did. In my past life, I had chosen Jacob, the eldest son of the wolf clan, as my fiancé. I saw the serpent clan as cold-blooded and unfeeling, the fox clan as frivolous and unfaithful, and the dragon clan as proud and arrogant. Only the wolf clan, known for their loyalty and devotion, seemed worthy of trust. 6 months after marrying Jacob, I got pregnant with our child, and then, I gave birth to a half-beast white wolf, our son Tristan. As the first half-beast child born from the human-beast union, Tristan naturally became the next leader of the human-beast alliance. Bella, enamored by the fox clan's beauty, had chosen their heir, Lucien, but she didn't expect him to be a shameless womanizer, constantly entangled with other lovers. Eventually, she contracted a disease because of him, one that left her infertile and scorned by the fox clan. She blamed me for her misfortune, jealous that I had lived a better life than she did. One night, she drugged me in secret and set a fire that burned both me and Tristan alive. At the memory, hatred surged in my chest. I wanted nothing more than to kill Bella right then and there and avenge Tristan. I clenched my fists inside my sleeves. The pain in my palm sobered me slightly. Then I slowly nodded, masking my fury with a look of understanding. If Bella and Jacob truly love each other, I'd never stand in the way of their happiness. Bella hadn't expected me to agree so easily. The tears she had squeezed out now hung awkwardly at the corners of her eyes. Bella, get up now. Hurry and thank your sister for stepping aside, Father urged, clearly relieved. Thank you, Clarice. Bella beamed as she rushed out, eager to bring the good news to Jacob and the wolf clan. Girls really do grow up and slip away too quickly, Father joked. But when he turned and saw the cold indifference on my face, his voice faltered. Clarice, among the eligible beast clan heirs, only 2 remain, Draco of the serpent clan and Lucien of the fox clan. I still think the fox clan would be a better match, better looks, higher status, clearly superior to the serpent clan. Besides, Bella once said, I cut him off. Father, I choose to marry Draco of the serpent clan. To most humans, snakes were cold-blooded and heartless, and that prejudice extended to the serpent clan beastmen. For thousands of years, no human had ever chosen to marry into the serpent clan. As a result, they had never produced a single ruler for the human-beast alliance. Eventually, they were cast out from the ranks of the 5 great beast families and reduced to the lowest tier of the beast clans, denied even the smallest share of resources. But in my past life, as the fire consumed me, I saw a pair of emerald green eyes, Draco's. He tried to save me, but the flames were too fierce, and he could do nothing. Although Father disapproved of my decision, when he saw the resolve on my face, he didn't press further. He simply sighed and tried to console me. If your life in the serpent clan becomes too difficult, perhaps Bella can help you out. But when Bella found out I had chosen to marry into the serpent clan, she couldn't resist mocking me to my face. Clarice, even if you couldn't marry Jacob, surely you didn't have to stoop to the declining serpent clan? Don't end up starving to death before you even manage to bear a child. I heard they're struggling just to stay fed these days. The wolf clan is wealthy beyond measure. Even their bathwater is infused with precious divine herbs. If your life gets too miserable, I can pack up some leftovers and send them your way. She covered her mouth and burst out laughing, ignoring the awkward glances from the servants around us. In Bella's eyes, the wolf clan had vast resources, and Jacob's devotion would guarantee a swift pregnancy. She was certain I'd miss my chance at bearing the first half-beast child, but she had no idea how difficult it was for humans and beast folk to conceive. Nor did she know how obsessed Jacob was with having an heir. When I didn't show signs of pregnancy after 6 months, he began taking out his frustration on me, tormenting me day and night. Only after I used a secret technique to conceive and gave birth to Tristan, securing the wolf clan's claim to power, did Jacob finally relent. I offered Bella a calm smile. You needn't worry about me, dear sister. Since I've chosen my husband, I'll live with my decision without regret. What's there to be proud of? You're marrying a penniless nobody. Infuriated by my composure, Bella slammed the table, scattering the pastries across the floor. I'll be the first one to get pregnant. My child will definitely be the next ruler of the alliance. I ignored her tantrum and went off to prepare for my wedding in 3 days. In one thing, she wasn't wrong. The serpent clan was indeed very poor. I worried they might not even have the money for a proper gown, so I planned to prepare one myself. To my surprise, that very evening, Draco came in person to deliver my wedding dress. It was the first time I truly saw his face. His skin was pale, almost bloodless. His long, narrow eyes carried a quiet authority, and the emerald green of his irises held a mysterious depth. Yet the teardrop mole at the corner of his eye lent a subtle grace to his otherwise austere expression. Inside the box lay a floor-length gown of deep green tulle. The bodice shimmered faintly with scales, snake scales, stitched into the fabric. I had never seen such a beautiful dress. For a moment, I was completely captivated. Clarice, Draco said calmly, this gown was hand-stitched by our serpent clan's finest seamstresses. Each scale was a blessing offered by our people. His gaze carried a deliberate detachment, as if the person marrying me wasn't him at all. This is the first time our serpent clan has ever wed a human. If anything has been done poorly, your welcome to tell me. Thank you, I replied. I truly love it. Just as I was about to put the dress away, Bella strolled in, arm in arm with Jacob, smug and beaming. Clarice, don't tell me this is the only gown you got? Jacob had 10 dresses made for me. 10. Jacob looked down at Bella with affection in his eyes. Bella only knew of the Wolf clan's famous loyalty, but she didn't understand it was rooted in their biological instincts and their intense obsession with offspring. If she failed to conceive, would Jacob still treat her with such tenderness? Draco's grip on his serpent staff tightened slightly before he raised his eyes to meet mine. If the Serpent Clan has caused you any grievance, Clarice, I can promise you this, I, Draco, will never betray you in this lifetime. Bella snorted. Anyone can talk sweet. Let's see if you can actually produce a child. Now, all she ever talked about was children. Her infertility in her past life had become a thorn in her heart, and now she was fixated on getting pregnant. Even before marrying Jacob, she had already moved into his home. In that sense, she and Jacob were a perfect match, both obsessively fixated on heirs. Bella, perhaps you should focus on your own wedding. People might start to think you've set your sights on my fiancé instead. I smiled faintly, and under the sour expressions of Bella and Jacob, I took Draco's hand and walked away. Behind me, I could still hear Bella's shrill voice clinging to Jacob, her words faint but unmistakable. Pregnancy, child, next ruler. Oh, my foolish sister. Even after a second chance at life, she still believed that a child was her only path to power. Draco's cool voice sounded beside my ear. Clarice, I know you chose me because you had no other option, but I promise, within my power, I will never let you suffer. I turned instinctively at the sound of his voice and accidentally stumbled into his chest. A strange yet pleasant scent drifted into my nose. I looked up at him and said slowly, with deliberate clarity, Draco, I chose you willingly. A flicker of something unreadable passed through Draco's eyes. All right, Clarice. 3 days later, the wedding arrived as scheduled. Both ceremonies were held in the same grand restaurant. The Wolf clan's wedding was even more extravagant than in my previous life. They had gone so far as to invite the reclusive Phoenix clan to perform, and all the major noble houses attended in full force. Meanwhile, the Serpent clan celebration was quieter, with no distinguished guests, yet the clan members beamed with genuine joy. After all, this was their first marriage to a human, a sign they might finally have a chance at producing the next ruler of the alliance. After the ceremony, I ran into Bella face to face. She deliberately tilted her chin, making sure I noticed the marks on her neck. Clarice, I didn't know Wolfman had such stamina. At this rate, I'll be giving them an heir in no time. I smiled politely. Then I sincerely wish you the best of luck. Bella was grossly underestimating the difficulty of pregnancy between humans and beastkin. Our species was fundamentally different. Even in the best conditions, natural conception took at least a year. She assumed I got pregnant easily in our past life, and so she believed the same would come just as easily to her. She even boasted to the Wolf clan that she'd be pregnant within 6 months. Word had spread quickly. Seeing how confident she was, Jacob hadn't even questioned it. But to Bella, my composure looked like a personal challenge. Forget it. It's not like you'd understand anyway. You've married into a beggar's den. She shot a disdainful glance at the Serpent clan members nearby, lifted her skirt, and walked past me. I grabbed her arm, stopping her. Bella, apologize. Apologize to the Serpent clan. Her expression darkened. She yanked her arm free and yelled, Clarice, have you lost your mind? The remaining guests in the hall stopped to watch as we argued, eager for the drama. In the end, our father had to step in. Once he understood what had happened, he forced Bella to apologize to the Serpent clan. Though the Serpent clan ranked lowest among the beastkin, they would still unite against human humiliation. Before leaving, Bella shot me a vicious glare and muttered under her breath, Clarice, I'm going to win this life. Just you wait. On our wedding night, I stared at Draco's bare body, frozen in place. No one had ever told me snakes had too. Seeing me motionless on the bed, Draco misunderstood. With a pale expression, he bent down to gather his clothes and began dressing. What do you think you're doing? I snatched the fabric from his hands, my displeasure written all over my face. I thought you didn't want to. He stammered, standing awkwardly by the bed, the emerald in his eyes dimming. If he wouldn't make the first move, then I would. I stepped forward and wrapped my arms around his neck, pulling him down onto the bed. As our bodies touched, that subtle, familiar scent surrounded me again. Draco, you smell really nice, I murmured without thinking. He froze for a moment, then the tips of his ears turned faintly pink. The next moment, his kiss deepened, trailing from my forehead all the way down. Fingers interlaced, we shared a night of wild pleasure. I had once believed the Wolf clan's strength made them the best choice in bed, but the Serpent clan had their own, unique qualities. Draco didn't stop until dawn lit the sky, and I practically begged for rest. 3 months later, news broke. Bella was pregnant. I was stunned. In thousands of years, no human had ever conceived with a beastkin in just 3 months. Had I not seen her swollen belly with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it. The Wolf clan threw a grand celebration for the unborn child, inviting all the noble families to share their joy. Our ancestors must be watching over us. A child in just 3 months. What a miracle. Jacob raised his cup high, pride written all over his face. Many guests approached to flatter him, eager to earn the Wolf clan's favor. Everyone agreed. The next ruler of the alliance would undoubtedly come from the Wolf clan. Now was the perfect time to curry favor. By status, I should have been seated with Draco at the end of the banquet hall, but Bella had insisted to Jacob that I be placed beside her. She couldn't pass up a chance to show off. As she stroked her belly, she cast me a smug look. Clarice, 3 months, and still no news from your belly? Seems like you're really lacking. Your womb doesn't even try. Half-beasts matured rapidly. 2 months was enough for them to be born. Based on her size, her child would arrive next month, but she had no idea how large half-beast infants were. Without managing her diet, she'd suffer greatly during labor. I had carefully controlled my weight in my past life, yet childbirth still took a full day and night, and the pain nearly made me wish for death. But the moment I saw my child safely born, sleeping peacefully in my arms, I knew I had no regrets. I took a sip of wine and said flatly, historically, the quickest conception between human and beastkin took a full year, but you took only 3 months. Whatever methods you used, only you know. Bella whipped her head toward me, her eyes darting in guilty panic. Clarice, what are you implying? She couldn't even withstand the slightest probing. Bella still couldn't keep her composure. May you have a safe delivery, Bella. I raised my glass to toast her, then left the banquet with Draco by my side. 1 month later, Bella endured 3 full days and nights of labor before finally giving birth. But 7 days passed, and the Wolf clan still hadn't announced the child's arrival. Even when father tried to visit, they refused him entry. There was no doubt, something was wrong with the child. Half a month later, father summoned me home. Seeing the worry in Draco's eyes before I left, I finally relented and asked him to come with me. In the living room, Bella sat on the floor sobbing, clutching a half-beast red wolf pup in her arms.